broadcast of the Sleon and Kirk show. We are so thankful to have you here. It's such an opportunity, and we always got to bring it in with some music just to get this thing popping. Uh, how you doing, my man? How you doing, Sleon? It's been a good day.
Colin, it's been a good day, good week. It feels like it's been a while that I haven't seen you, but it's only been a couple of days, 8 days, I think.
Yeah, I mean we do this every Thursday or Friday, and it's believe it or not, we're already at episode 4.
Episode 4, and no, it's been a good productive week. It's Thursday. I got January's almost over, and February is around the corner.
And I know we wanted to have a guest this week, but I do believe for next week we really will have the guest. I created a little trolling buzz on my own Facebook, and I think we have our candidate now. I'm going to reach
So,
out to her later.
so you have some getaway sometimes, but doesn't mean that you get out of town. You do it in town.
Yes, and I know people now with the way COVID has evolved and the way the world has evolved, staycations are more important than ever. And if you have a go-to spot that has a really high-end restaurant, why not kick back and relax and proceed with what you got to do the next day? You know, chances are most people don't have a heated pool at their house. Most people can't pick up the phone like Hugh Hefner and be like, "Bring me some scrambled eggs and sausage and biscuits in the morning." So, and he's gone by the way. But anyways, you know what I mean.
So you actually go specifically to Hilton hotels, and you have a membership. Tell us about that.
I am a Hilton Rewards member, so they like to give me anywhere from 10 to 20% off, and they always upgrade me to a suites when I want one.
Not just you, right? For everyone else.
Yeah, it's for everyone. And just like with airline miles, once you get so many points, you can stay for free. They don't really do that as much as they don't really advertise it like they used to, but it's still a nice perk.
So at the Hilton, not just you get a hotel bed and whatnot, but there is restaurants downstairs and you can eat at.
Yes, especially the one here in Oak Ridge. It's called the Birchfields, and I had one of the best salads of my life the other day there. It was a Caesar salad, add grilled chicken, and something about how they dressed it was just flawless.
Now, I've been kind of dabbling this question for a while. Would you ever take a girl out to a hotel restaurant?
I certainly would. I don't say there ain't no shame in that, especially if it's a per alley of what she wants to eat. If it's a Italian-based restaurant, and it's located in let's say it's in a Marriott or a Holiday Inn, or well, they probably won't have it at a Holiday Inn, but somewhere at a higher scale. Yeah.
So I stayed at a Holiday Inn actually this past weekend. I went to this Premier League soccer fest. It's the English soccer league in England,
I saw that.
and it was all bunch of like soccer nerds that are just like crazy. I mean, you could talk to anyone about any team in that league, and you're like, wow, I'm having a great conversation about this. And I was just there for one night. I don't take long vacations. I'm not like you, take 2 weeks, a month, but I keep it as minimal as possible. I could have stayed for an extra night, but I didn't see necessary to do it. Plus, the NFL playoffs were that weekend, so I couldn't miss that. But the Holiday Inn that I stayed at was not bad. I wanted to go a little bit more ritzy,
Mm-hmm.
but I was like, I'm only going to be there for a few hours, so it didn't make sense to go something more expensive and I enjoy the full amenities, right?
Is it because you miss work and you are the day in the life of a podcaster? You really do this 7 days a week. So it's like, do you miss getting back to your regimen schedule of 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock?
That's probably so because, like you were saying, sometimes it feels like I'm running a 24/7 radio station.
Yeah.
But I actually don't. I record a couple of podcasts a week, but it's becoming more of a day of a not a day job because that means I'll be like Joe
Oh, you're
Rogan's.
losing the passion. Where's the passion, Sleon? You
No,
can't
no,
be losing.
passion's there. Obviously, I
Okay.
just, I mean, doesn't, yeah, it's just not there yet. It's just not like the money doesn't, justify me to do it all day. But besides that, I mean, I like it, obviously. And I think it really, it's funny because after a podcast, it carries over to my personal life. So when I'm having a conversation, Colin,
Mm-hmm.
some people tell me that, wow, it feels like I'm in a interview.
I can see that. It's because you're a professional interviewer, and so it's just natural for you to ask those like type of questions to somebody, and so they're probably feeling like that. I can see that.
Yeah, and then of course my tone of voice is a little bit deep.
Yeah.
So that could happen, and I've been improving my diaphragm a bit as well. So every time I speak from my stomach up, and that takes practice.
It does take practice. Actors have to practice all that 24/7. Depending on what kind of
Exactly.
role they're playing, and yeah.
So thinking about podcast, today's topic is podcast equipment. Let me give a quick background of how I know about this. I actually worked at a college radio. Well, no, way before that. Actually, let me scoot down back to 1997.
Wow.
I started with audio production, you can say, at my church, and we spoke about religion last week,
Mm-hmm.
and I was in charge of playing CDs or just controlling the audio levels at my church, and that's how I started. I got to know the audio board early on. I didn't know what it was, by the way. I like no one really taught me. I just saw it and I just put volume up and down. So that was my first taste of it. And then in college, I worked I was a communication major, and I worked at a college radio station. And I've always loved radio, Colin. I would listen to the radio with my dad while I was driving to school,
Mm-hmm.
and I loved the host, the music. I would listen to talk radio, listen to music radio, and then I went to college and got into a college radio station, and that's where I really learned the knobs and the microphones, and
You
I
learn
had
the
a class about
equalizing.
microphones.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna slide down my a blog post that I created a few years ago, actually, and then we could talk about your experience with it, because I know you dabble with it. You bought a few equipment, or you were looking at it. Can you see my screen? Yeah, you should.
I
So
can. It looks good.
I created this post about 2 years ago
Mm-hmm.
during COVID, actually, and I look at the date, and it is a blog post that I created on sleonproductions.com, and the title is Ideal Setup for Professional Podcast Equipment. And here's a feature photo, but let's go down by each one. So the first one I put was the Zoom Live Track podcast recorder on board. Now, I don't actually have a board per se. I think that's for like when you have multiple guests in your podcast, so more than one or two.
Yeah.
You have a board, right?
I do have a board. I have a Tascam Mixcast 4 right here.
Have you used it all the way, or?
I've played around and dabbled it with myself, but I haven't used it with someone else because it's just easy. It's with the Zoom app. It makes it to where a one-on-one conversation. It's easier to just log into Zoom and voila, there you have it. Versus setting up the mics and all that.
Yeah. Now with this, you can actually do call-ins. You could connect your phone into the soundboard and
Yeah.
do an actual direct call.
This one can too. Bluetooth, smartphone, everything.
Yeah. So Zoom does it too, but people have to call in. Like you got to give them the phone number and the meeting ID, but this one you could directly call them. So this is a soundboard. I don't use it. Doesn't mean you need it, but I think if you see the Joe Rogan setup, that's where you need it. And especially when you have multiple people. So that gets really good for that. Headphones, very important headphones. I have headphones here. This one is the Sony headphones. I use the Behringer headphones. I'm not too picky with it per se. I think whatever sounds good sounds good. I recommend headphones just to make sure that you're getting every audio and no feedback if you're doing it like on the stereo. So that's very important. Next, microphones. This is probably the Shure mic is the best podcast mic in the industry. Everyone has a Shure mic. Joe Rogan has it. New podcasts that come out, they always have a Shure mic. I have a Blue Yeti, a regular USB Blue Yeti. I don't think it's that bad. I think it's perfect. And the Shure mic, actually, not only podcasters use it, but also musicians use it, singers. So it's very common in multiple industries. And then you have the cloud microphones, cloud lifter. Now this, I believe you have to have this to have a Shure mic. I haven't set it up myself, but every YouTube video that shows you how to set up has to use it with this Shure mic. Next,
is that Phantom Power or?
Yes, Phantom Power. How do you know about that?
I got my degree in audio production, so I understand every piece of the equipment down to a T. I just personally, I am such a perfectionist. I mix myself into a nightmare. I don't know when to stop when it because I understand it all. You know,
that's right. We talked about that.
Yes.
You major in audio. That's why you got so interested with podcasting.
Yeah, and like with music, as us doing podcasts, it's not that important of how your voice sounds. But when it comes to mixing vocals, every tiny little frequency matters, and that's when the anal engineer has to come out and perfect it. That's why they do 100 takes, and then they'll only let one take actually hit the record.
Exactly. Yeah. Every audio spec. Now, being anal with audio, that's like I would say I'm pretty much that person as well, especially in movies or like TV, anything. I have like audio for me is more important than video, if you ask me. And they say that in school too. So I gotta have crisp audio. When I started to do podcasting again, I make sure that I have every audio level correct. I like when I started doing the sports cast, I was like, I gotta make sure that the levels is right. Doesn't go back doesn't go above 8 dB.
Do you have a plug-in or a software compressor that's on your vocals right now? Or
no, I don't. I do not use any type of software, but I do post editing, so I compress the audio down after each podcast.
Okay.
So that's important. So yeah, that is part of the Shure mic setup. Have you ever dabbled with a Shure mic or seen one in person?
I have not. Like you, I've seen them on all the current podcasts nowadays, but they came after my schooling, like 2010 to 2012. Shure mics, they were a thing, but they weren't as worldwide popular as they are now. So there's obviously been some more development since then.
It is worldwide popular. So, but yeah, get that. Another thing is XLR cable. That's very important. You have to get this to use a Shure mic or any heavy duty mic, like I say. There's other good mics out there besides the Shure mic. You get a pretty good ones for $100. I like the Blue Yeti. Blue Yeti does have an XLR option. It's a little bit more. It might be closer to 200. But USB mics, they do their job. They do their job. And then of course the boom arm stand. I have one. It saves you a lot of space on your work space. Space. So I recommend using it if you have a desk, and I would just use it. There's another piece of equipment that I use. I'm gonna freestyle on this one. what's it called? I have it in my backpack, a couple of feet away, but there's also other soundboards that you can use, obviously. What are your thoughts over it so far?
I think it's great information for the public and anyone that's wanting to set up a serious podcast. They should take your advice on it because phone sound quality from a phone is only going to be so high. It really requires someone to invest some money into a microphone, into having a producer to capture the show that they want so that they give the audience the quality that they really want. Every detail matters when it comes to this stuff. So
how anal are you with audio?
Now I'm not so much, but if I'm mixing a song, I am extremely. I'll spend hours on trying to get it the correct thing because it basically boils down to four things: compression, equalization, reverb, and delay. If you can master those four things, you can know how to balance and make a good track.
Colin, you might know more about audio than I do.
I probably do from a book standard. I don't know if I do from a.
Yeah, because if you majored it, you probably took more courses on it.
Yes, we took a lot of them, and I had fun doing. I made 2 mixtapes a million years ago, but
you did.
Mm-hmm.
No, you dabbled with music.
I did a decade ago. I haven't made a song since probably 2012. So
that's great.
Yeah.
So besides equipment, I do use software to have this audio. So to stream, let's begin with the stream part.
Okay.
I do a thing called Restream. So let me pull it up for you guys, see how it looks. And Restream is expensive. It used to be free, but when I first used it,
how much does Twitch cost?
So Twitch is free.
Twitch is free? Okay.
Yeah, Twitch is free. Twitch is not as good as YouTube, I think. I think YouTube still's king.
Yeah.
But it will do its thing. So Restream is where you're able to stream to multiple social media platforms. So let me show you right now. It's showing that. So let me see. Start with studio setup. Okay, edit destinations. Should I? Yeah, let me go there. It will show you all the platforms you can, because right now they're showing us that we're streamed. So this podcast, which is also a streaming show, is streamed on all my platforms, my YouTube, my Facebook, my
everything
and my Twitter. So here's all the platforms they list on Restream. You can stream all at the same time. So you got Facebook, got Twitch, YouTube, Twitter, LinkedIn. LinkedIn, I haven't figured that one out. That was on beta for a bit. So maybe it's working. TikTok. Wow, I'm not a TikTok fan. I don't know about you. I'm a little bit. And you got Instagram. Wow, this is news to me. So as I'm doing the show, I'm realizing they added new platforms. Telegram's part of it as well. So this is very good tools to know. And then you got these other platforms, Colin, but they're more for gamers. So I don't know what V Live is or KKO TV, but it's probably more towards gaming.
Yeah, and I don't play any games of in the online space, so I don't know. TikTok is finally growing on me, and I see its value. Everyone's attention span is shorter now, so making a quick 30-second video is important, but you make it good. Like I see some people making TikTok videos and they're offbeat dancing or looking stupid. And it's just like, please don't do it to us. But other than that, I see value there. We need to start promoting our LinkedIn a little bit more is what I'm thinking, because LinkedIn is the best. I've been saying lately to go to my Instagram, and you should go to Instagram if you want to find out more about what I'm doing, but go to my LinkedIn. That's the professional side.
So LinkedIn, I look at it more of a professional side of things. Like I have a LinkedIn profile. I go LinkedIn every day, by the way.
Mhm.
But I don't know, to promote, like I put my post, like I post my podcast on there a lot. My clips. Do you use LinkedIn a lot?
I used to use it all the time. I met a lot of people in Nashville when I was networking a lot. Went to several different big banks and different board meetings I got to attend just by reaching out on there. So uh, I'm a huge fan of it, but I don't current. I need to reincorporate now. Now that we're really doing this podcast once a week, we need to attack every angle possible. We can't be taking any shortcuts because there might be that one random person that says, "Hey, we're going to take your podcast and take it to the next level based off what you're doing. Great, come on board. Let's have a talk about it."
Have you used YouTube Shorts?
I have not, but
Yeah,
that's what.
YouTube Shorts is YouTube's version of TikTok.
Mhm. It
You
really
should.
is.
Sorry, go ahead.
I'm just saying, yeah, it really is. They basically that's what all of them do. Every big conglomerate, when they see what's working, they either try to buy them out, and if they don't buy them out, they crush them. You know, so
Yeah,
and if they
precisely.
don't crush them, they're competing constantly, like TikTok and YouTube Shorts are.
So besides Restream, Restream has their own studio,
Mhm.
which you can stream from, and you can also, not just use Restream Studio. You're able to use Zoom to stream. So they give you the options to use Zoom, but the thing is, you got to connect the Restream codes into the Zoom. It's not that hard. It's really easy. So Restream, I record all my podcasts through Restream. It's usually streamed, and then it gets automatically recorded on YouTube already and Facebook, so you don't have to re-upload them or anything like that. Now, my original podcast, SleonProductions.com, I I record them. If it's in person, obviously just a camera, hit record. But if it's remote, like you and I would do Zoom.
Mhm.
Um, but Zoom is very convenient, but doesn't have good audio quality.
But
That's
it
the
has
problem.
good video quality.
Yeah, video quality is great. It's very convenient. It's a click a link for any person that you want to interview. It's really easy. Everyone has a Zoom account, pretty much. And obviously, you could also call in if you have a bad reception or whatever. But
Yeah.
Zoom has a feature where they control the levels, but they just have not done a good job on it. They think your audio is doing good, but it's not. And if you do it manually, it gets a little bit complex.
Is it clipping sometimes? Does the audio raise above the thing? And
No, it's usually low audio.
okay,
That's the
so
problem. It's usually like low. It doesn't have problems with clipping or anything like that. So
so
so yeah. So
it's too low. Yeah. So
it's
the
too low,
noise.
but it's very convenient. It's not the worst, but it's not the best. But it's more worse than
But
best.
like you said, it makes it convenient to interview other guests. And I had another idea earlier. It's like we need to interview 50 guests, and each guest needs to be from a different state. And I know this is going to be more shows than we anticipated, but I think that's another way that we can branch out. We can say we've interviewed 50 people from 50 different states. And I don't know, just keep that in the back of your mind if you want to explore that route. Because
Yeah.
I know that I can reach out and get a hold of 50 people because it's just what I do. I'm the hustler of the century, and you're the producer of the century. So that's how we got to run with it.
Well, there you have it. Restream, Zoom, when it comes to software. Now, for my post editing, I do some post editing, cut out some clips or cut out when it comes to audio editing, not like video editing.
Mhm.
I use Adobe Audition, which has become the standard for audio editing, and I'm gonna pull it up for you guys so you can see um what I use, and it's pretty pretty easy stuff. You always gotta control the levels, and sometimes when you record, the audio could be too loud or it could be a little too low, but you're able to do it through post editing, and Audition is a very good software. It's part
Yeah.
of the Toby subscription. I get the bundle for $50 a month, but I might get a discount because I'm a teacher. So this is what I use. Let me pull up this one. So you see the audio, and then you're able. Well, it's importing, so it's gonna take a while.
Yeah, you're able to boost it afterwards.
Yeah, and most of the time, I mean, you probably don't need it all the time to edit, but it is what it is. Any questions, Colin? Have you used any type of audio software?
Oh yeah, I'm well versed in Pro Tools. I absolutely loved Adobe Audition 3.0. It was like the grand thing of all time, and then
The
they took it
granddaddy
off.
of all time.
Yeah, it was the granddaddy of all time. 'Cause there you go. Then there was the waveform of Adobe right there.
Oh, I love
It,
it. And I
it makes it.
yeah, I can
It's
tell this
simple,
is like a
clear.
husk of air right there
Yeah,
coming through that line. So I use this, and then I just normalize it, make it a little bit lower, and make it great. Obviously, I rather have high audio, just in case if you're listening to the podcast like this one in your car.
what you want? Like I guarantee Joe Rogan and Shannon Sharp or Glenn Beck, they not only have this program, but they have what's called Waves plugins, and they run that audio through those plugins, and it sounds so beautiful. You can have the worst sounding, like Jay-Z, for example. He has a terrible voice. He's like, "Hey guys, how are you doing?" And then, but they run it through those equalizers and compressors, and he's like, he's as good as it gets. So
exactly. So that's the magic.
matter.
Yeah, that is the magic that I do. If I had to add more stuff to my podcast equipment or my workspace, I would maybe get a Shure mic, maybe. And I think that's pretty much it. I can't think of anything else. I think like the mic equipment will probably be one that I would expand. Maybe get a soundboard, but I hardly record anything locally, but
Yeah, and nowadays everybody's mobile and on the go, unless they're going to be the ones that are producing the show, that they don't have to worry about nothing. Like you said, they just download Zoom, they come on our show, and we make it happen. Yeah, voila.
Well, there you have it. We're out of time, Colin.
Already? Well, didn't even get a chance for a music break today. Well, it was good talking to you, my friend, and we're gonna have somebody next week. We're gonna, and we'll let people know on our social media forums. I'm gonna reach out to her, and we're gonna get this lined up. So.
And what is the best way to reach you online, Colin?
Best way to reach me online now is I want you to find me on LinkedIn. Just Colin Kirk, the podcast guy.
And you can reach me on Linktree /Sleon SLEON, or Twitter SLEON, Instagram SLEON. And those are the three that I would, for sure check that out. So anyways, it's been a great episode. Glad to teach you guys about podcasting. Oh, and the webcam. I do have a Logitech HD 1080p. I don't think the webcam technology has much improved since. So I'm not going to be sweating on that, but there you have it.
All right, my man. Well, you take care, and I'll talk to you later.
Sleon and Kirk.
Yes, sir.